What's up, ticket holders? It's Jay-3 and I'm back in the building. I got a movie review for you guys today. This one's one of those deep movies. One of the movies that make you reflect your life and look at the past. This is what this does. This movie's called Birth of a Nation. This is directed by, starring by, screenplay by Nate Parker. He's all in this. So this is his project. So this is going towards Nate Parker. All right. This story is about Nathaniel Turner. It says it's based on a true story. I'm going to say it's based on true events, because there's a lot of stuff about the story that did not feel well. I know about Nat Turner. I did reports on him and stuff in school. You know what I mean? I know about it a little bit more, but than the average person. Not saying I know more than him. I just know a little bit more. And when I seen things, I was like, wait, some of that stuff didn't happen. Or if it did happen, it didn't happen that way. So I'm going to say based on true events. The story takes place, and this is a spoiler-free review. The story takes place with Nat Turner as a young boy who is, I will say, master allows him to learn how to read. And he learns how to read the Bible to become a pastor for the slaves. When he grows up, they say, hey, we can make money off this ability because we can take the Lord's word and make it work in the slave master's benefit. So we can make it work for them. So we'll go around across the country, tour, preaching the slaves to basically take their hope away, take their spirit away, make them believe the Lord has put them here to be slaves. And in this transition of going around country, Nat Turner starts to see how slaves are really being treated. Like, he ain't really been treated bad like that. You know what I mean? He kind of had it good. But he starts seeing the way other slaves are being treated. And he's like, oh, hell no. He can't. It started to eat him alive. That's basically what the movie's about. So he ends up becoming another type of leader. Not a preacher leader, but takes that ability and uses the Lord's words for hope and building up these people to fight back. That's what the movie's about. Now, I will say Nate Parker did his thing as Nat Turner. I liked him as Nat Turner. I like the character. I'm gonna say character, but I like the way they brought the character to life. I like the transition as him as a boy, and I like him growing up and seeing. You see him. You can see. It's basically his eyes were opened. His eyes were open to what the world is. Like, when you're a slave, now I've been a slave, but from what I've seen of slaves, they're always stuck in a box. So they only see what they see. But he got to go out and he saw how other people were being treated. You know, he's traveling and you see slaves hung and their bodies just deteriorating, just sitting there, you know, and seeing wolves eat dead bodies and just looking and there's a dead slave and no one, and you're reading the Bible every day. And you read the Lord's word and you're like, man, this is not right. And the Lord says it's not right. And no one's they're not getting in trouble for this. But if we kill someone, oh, hell, you finna die, boy. So I can see the transition with him as Nat Turner growing up and seeing it. And it's like, man, and building a hatred towards another man. Regardless of what they do, you're not supposed to hate no one, you know? And religious wise, you're not supposed to hate. You can disagree and dislike, but you're not supposed to hate someone with a passion where you want to kill them. And you can see that transition in him. Certain events happen in the movie that just kind of like bop, 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 confetti. That's basically what happened. So I like that. I like the mother. I like his grandmother. I thought the slave, to me personally, they had a better slave vibe than in 12 Years a Slave. I hate to put other movies in, but I gotta compare how I saw it. I thought they were more slave-like. They did more slave things than in 12 Years a Slave. 12 Years a Slave to me was more like, we're gonna try to get an Oscar off this one. This one kind of made it feel more organic. So I felt it. You know what I mean? It was like when certain scenes happened, I felt like they wanted to take it to the true story of slavery. Like, slaves weren't afraid. Slaves weren't stupid. Yes, there's busters, and there's always going to be a buster. They come in small, any small, big, large, fat, kid, old woman, kid, girl, all shapes and sizes. There's a buster. Especially during slavery times, you had the in-house niggas, you had the outside niggas. It's always gonna be like that. But it felt more organic, I will say. I felt like they really wanted to play that role well. Even the slave catchers felt more organic to me personally. It didn't feel like it was trying to get, an Oscar or trying to be acknowledged for this film in that sense. If that makes any sense to you guys. And I like that about the movie. It felt organic. The story was good. It was great writing, great acting on everyone's behalf. Actually, no one did a bad job. I really enjoyed it. The problem was that it was too short. An hour and 50 minutes. Let me backtrack. Yes, I believe they added a lot of stuff in here to give you a little flavor. And that's fine to a certain degree because you're kind of telling event stories and incorporating it with his story. So it kind of works. Like, the stuff did happen. It didn't really happen to him, but it did happen over here. So I'll take it. But it was things about the story that made it. This is the type of movie that needed to be an intermission film. It needed to run 2 hours, 30 minutes straight. Give yourself a 15, 20 minutes and then go back another 2 hour and 30 minute movie. Because there's so much about Nat Turner that they didn't tell. And this is where it hits. This is where it hits for me. Nat Turner, when certain situations happen, I wanted to feel them. The script was tight. It was great writing. But I couldn't feel it. Because me being a black man, there's more to it that wanted me to feel it. I wanted to feel when certain situations happened to certain characters in the movie, and I couldn't feel it because I didn't get enough time with them. Like, this is spoiler free, but Nat Turner in the movie, he was friends with his master as kids. They were kids. I thought they needed to show, more on that relationship between Nat Turner, the kids, Nat Turner's the slave master's mother, and his sister. Like, they were cool. Like, they allowed that boy to go in the house and live with them. Don't no white person just do that at that time. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to get more in that relationship because it would explain more on the slave master as a grown man. You have two individuals like damn near the same age, and one is in charge of the other. But you can see the resentfulness and hatred of being white through his master, and you saw him drink away the pain through his sorrows through his liquor. He was always drunk. But why was he drunk? Was it that he couldn't cope with the way society is in that time frame, and he hated to do that to his friend? Treat him like a non-equal when he knows he's equal? Like, there were things about this movie that I thought they could have brought to life and gave us more depth. It should have been more depth. There should have been more depth actually on the white man's behalf, because that would have brought Nat Turner character alive and why it took him so long to rise up and be that leader. You know what I mean? It would have showed, like, man, I grew up with this dude and we're friends. We've been friends our whole life, but we can't even show it. I love this man and he loves me too, no homo, but I can't show it because the world's not ready for this. You know what I mean? And instead they took the shortcuts and cut it down and kind of wanted you to actually kind of guess it, I guess. Like, because I don't want to spoil anything, but there were certain things and certain things happened in this movie and people weren't, it was just, if you guys know about Nat Turner, you know he rose up and he started killing white people. It's plain and simple. Killed his own master. When scenes like that happen, it didn't feel personal. It didn't feel like I don't want to do this, but I have to do it because y'all would never learn. And unfortunately, you're my brother and I gotta take you out. I didn't feel it. You know what I mean? And when the mother finds out that, hey, one of your own slaves that you let in the home and you took care of and everything went out and killed your own boy, where's the resentfulness there? Like, she was more heartbroken that Nat turned than her own son dying. Like, why was that? Did she love him as another son? Did she care for Nat Turner more than her own? Is that it? I mean, hell, Nat Turner's mother, wife, and child were okay. Like, this fool killed your son. Any other slave master would have killed his daughter or raped her. His wife raped her or killed her, sold her to somewhere, really raped his mama, really gave it to her nasty, and then killed her just because he killed your boy. But that didn't happen to them. And I'm still questioning why. That's the problem I have with the story. It felt organic, but it's like so much was taken out and it made it short because they couldn't give me a fire that needed to burn. I'm gonna say this again because I rarely do reviews on stuff like this, but it's like Hollywood does not, even though it's a Sundance film, it's still Hollywood. It does not want you to get that factor that black people need, and it's hope. These movies are taking that away. It's like it gets to that point where that hope stands there and it's like, here's the hope for you. You need to see your past. You need to see why these people fought. You need to see the pain and agony they went through. But we're not going to give you all of it. Because we know if we give you all of it, you're going to wake up from this dream that we're living. And you're going to be like, damn, you know what? I'm better than this. I have all this material in my face. These fools didn't have it. They just, and I'm saying in the most respectful way, that's just how I talk. They didn't have it. They were slaves. They took every little bit and they made it work. I have everything in my hands and I'm not doing anything with it. Instead, I'm sitting here, I'm getting tatted up. I'm getting high. I'm getting drunk. I'm not even using my brain to even grow. And these are the type of films that make people wake up, but they take it away because they know it's that boiling point that people are gonna wake up and say, hey, you know what? I need to be better. You know what? I need to stand up and be a better father. You know what? I need to be a better woman. I was talking to Jody Joe when we was watching this movie, and Nat Turner's wife was rubbing his back. You know how hard it is to get your feet rubbed? You've been at work dealing with these people all day, and there's so many husbands and men out there with wives and girlfriends, and they don't even, and the girlfriends, and it's not shooting on women. I'm just saying what we have evolved into. Won't even rub their husband back, feet, and talk to him. And then he gets that resentfulness and he's like, man, I ain't rubbing that bitch feet. Hell no, I'm good. She don't even rub my feet. I gotta ask her. His wife was in there talking to him, rubbing his back. You know, hey babe, how was your trip? You know, I miss you, I love you. It was a relationship. It was black love. Cause that's all you had. All you had was your own kind. And we have escaped from that. And I feel like they should have added a little more on that. Let people see that. Like, this was a black woman. She wasn't light skinned, not shooting on anybody. I'm just saying, she was light skinned. She wasn't light skinned. She was a nice, dark chocolate woman. You know what I mean? Even they show Gabrielle Union here, and she's a chocolate woman, and she was beautiful. You know what I mean? And it was like, she had that beautiful smile. You know, it was things like that. And it was, and it showed you the loyalty between a man and a woman. We didn't get that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you got it, but it should have added more on it so the audience can get it, so the audience can see it. So it's like all type of cultures in this theater, and they need to see the truth. Black men, black women are powerful together. They stand by each other to the max. Like, I was watching it, I'm like, damn, you know, she's a down chick, man. But they wouldn't ad-lib enough on it for me, for that audience to feel it. When everyone left that theater, they should have been crying. Instead, we were just quiet. Like, okay, it was cool, man. It was a history lesson. We should have been in tears. We should have been like, damn, this is real. You know what I mean? It should have been that type of movie. It's kind of like when you watch Passion of Christ. It made people cry. It got people all emotionally, you know, they was on some other stuff. Because they gave it time. They broke it down, detail for detail. These type of movies that need to be broken down, especially when they're based on true story. A true story, true event. We didn't feel it. We didn't get that burning fire that I felt that we should have got. So on that note, this movie is gonna get a B minus. I'm off of my power. Let me do it again. This movie is gonna get a B minus. Yeah, that's what it got. Got a B minus because I felt if it made it burn, the script, everything was set up properly. But at the end, the beginning, middle, end, I didn't feel what I should have felt that I knew they were trying to give me. But they couldn't do that in an hour and 50 minutes. And that's what ruined the movie for me. Time based. It should have been broken down, man. I wanted to feel him. I wanted to feel his pain. Like they showed stuff about slave. It's like more slave movies, you see more pain and torture. But they should have gave me, we should have been like, damn, we're blessed, we're lucky. We don't have to go through this. You know what I mean? It showed people, white people wouldn't even like that. Like there was some white people that didn't even want to do that. They should have showed that how some white people were forced into doing that to people, or they was gonna get done that way. You know what I mean? Like they always, this is some true stuff, and I'm saying as a black man, they always show the negative part on both ends. They show the bad master and they show the bad slave. They always do this instead of showing the truth. Yes, there were a lot of hateful white people in those times, but you have to remember, not everybody's born with hate. No one's born with hate, as a matter of fact. You learn how to hate people. And there's white people who were poor, who lived with slaves, who would die for their brothers, but they never show that. They always show one or the other. And that's what I felt like the movie was missing, because that master, his master and his mother, they weren't like that. They did that for survival. They were losing their farm. They had to have slaves. They were losing everything. They were going to be broke. They were going to be broke. Like, and that's the truth. You know what I mean? And it sucks that you see stuff. Not saying that's the truth in this story, but like there's things about the characters that I believe that they should have really ad-lib on. Not everybody was evil. You know what I mean? Not every master was evil. There was a lot of people out there that looked at as black people as equals, and we still do to this day. If you ask me, there's more racism now than there's ever been. There's more people racist towards black people than ever. People have all these assumptions of black people that they don't even know, because they see these rappers on TV, they see these actors on TV, they see the bad things on TV. No one sells the good stuff. You know what I mean? But that's just the black in me. Sorry guys, I went on. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed my review. I'm Jay-3. I like movies like this because it makes the passion come out, which I think is a great thing. But hope you guys enjoyed. Go see the movie. It's not a bad movie. It's just things about it I didn't like. Like this video, share with your homies, your homegirls, your moms, your dads, your pops, everybody. Share with them. Let them know what's up. Let them know that we out here in LA reviewing movies. Me and my boy Jody Joe. That's how we do. Peace, love,